So welcome back to Owl or Nothing. And today, well, you could argue it's a bit of an anticlimax, really. Because I'm going to cut straight to it and say we are 8 points clear of the drop after 40 games. So we've got 6 to go, and Millwall, Huddersfield, QPR and Rotherham look like they're scrapping it out. Rotherham are pretty much gone, and I don't think we're going to get sucked in. We have QPR in today's match, and if we win, or to be fair, even if we draw it, we're basically safe. So I just thought I'd bring us back for this just as the clincher, really. But here's what's been going on since you last saw me. So I left you after the 3-1 loss to Leicester, and then we went on a bit of a decent run. 2-0 win against Millwall, thanks to Bannon and Ukbo. 1-1 draw against Bristol City. 1-0 win against Rotherham, which was a 85th minute penalty. Then we followed up with an absolute tonking of Plymouth, 3-0, which is always lovely. Then Leeds and Ipswich were always looking like losses to start with. Massive 2-1 win against Swansea, and then followed it up with a loss against Middlesbrough. But really, our rivals just have not been scoring points. QPR, Huddersfield, and Millwall have just been bottling it beautifully. So not a lot has changed otherwise, really. The team is very much settled in a 4-3-3. We've got sort of a combination of different players that we like to play. And stats-wise, we're doing all right. So time to play this QPR game and hope that this is pretty much the last action that we need for this season. Bannon to take this free kick then early on. Whips it. Oh, he's shot! Brave. Slightly foolish, but there you go. Diaby. Diaby plays out wide to Palmer. We're recycling the corner well. Palmer crosses in. Ugbo! Good save. Lyndon Dykes takes it forward. Cannon. Oh, that's a good ball for them. Ilias Chair. Oh, and he's sat our defence down, hasn't he? It's 1-0 to QPR. Or is it? That's been ruled out for offside, hasn't it? Thank God. That's a bit of a warning call. And are we going to go at the other end now? So, Byers and Palmer working on the right. Oh, Ocampo's found some space. Tobias. Oh, look, at loads of room for Riquelme. He has to do better than that. And Ocampo's dropped very deep here. It's not what's really in the script, but Palmer's coming forward, which is very much in the script. Diaby now. Bama Diaby is terrible in real life, but on the game he's actually pretty decent, or at least he's appeared to be. He doesn't want to leave either, no matter what you say to him. So, yeah, we might be stuck. Oh, that's a great through ball for Byers. George Byers. In real life, he may have moved to Blackpool, but he's having fun today at QPR. It is 1-0 to the Owls. And that is a lovely goal. Why could you not have done that in real life? But, yes, that is a good start. 38 minutes in and we lead. And Riquelme with an assist. So I've berated him enough that he's gone and done something. Fantastic. Pretty cute finish as well, but that was just very, very good interplay between the midfield. And Byers goes through. CM's on attack on FM are very good this year. As our ball-winning midfielders, if you want a defensive action, just that combo of two just seems to work nicely as long as you have a playmaker working with them. There's 3 in midfield. But let's just hope that Volks is our ball-winning midfielder. Hopefully he stops QPR from breaking through. We're nearly at half-time, so a goal conceded here would be awful. That looks offside. Is it offside? Yes. I was going to say, I think they've done the same thing twice, basically, but they've definitely jumped both times. So 1-1, it isn't. 1-0 at the break. Second half underway, and looking at some of the stats for our team so far, I've got to say, Ocampo and Ugbo really been disappointing. Riquelme's helped by the assist, and he is a little bit tired, but I'm surprised just how poor our front three is, so I'm not going to leave it long before I make a sub, because I think we need it. Reece James as well at left back has been pretty poor, but let's see how this all goes. Another chance up now. Hansen Arnson. That's easy to say. Here he is again. Kenneth Parl on the left-hand side. I'm not liking this. Parl, that's a great ball, and that's not offside. Ilias Chair, and it is 1-1. the way we've been playing and looking at the stats and looking at the players' ratings, I can't say I'm shocked that that's happened. But just gave him so much space. And it's actually, to be fair, the right-hand side where we've been stronger. Palmer just didn't track him enough. And then Chair just got between two defenders and it is 1-1. So, Ugbo has been appalling. Riquelme is tired. Ocampo is terrible. So, I'm going to go for Patterson, Masaba, and Windass. Even though two of them are absolutely not fit, I am still playing it. Reece James for Maya, because Maya's proven to be productive, especially as a sub. And I'm going to go with that and leave myself one sub spare, basically. This is just wholesale changes at this point, because I can see us slipping away if we're not careful. Unfortunately, Bannon's not looking particularly healthy, but he's the kind of player that you just have to keep playing. Although I have got Sharon Durr I can bring on, who is that PSG loanee, who keeps complaining at me because I'm playing him in the CMA role for buyers, and PSG want him to play as deep line playmaker, which is Bannon's role. And you try to tell Barry Bannon that he's not playing. But I may be forced to, given his fitness level and his 6.6 rating. With 10 minutes to go, I don't see why not. So Sharon Durr for Barry Bannon, and let's hope for the best. Maya on the left now. Good ball to Masaba. He's going to get that in, isn't he? Windass is there. Very nearly a substitute combination goal there. That would have been beautiful, but we'll take the corner. Byers now. Come on, it'd be sweet to get this in the 85th minute. We've done good at last-minute winners, or at least very late goals. Don't need to time waste. Oh, great. Thanks, FM. 2 minutes to go. Injury time coming up now. 4 minutes. Are we going to have one last chance? Doesn't look like it. Looks like it's going to be 1-1. Yeah, 1-1 it ends then. Not the most inspiring game to show you, but I think that probably puts us safe. So now when we look at the table, we are still 8 points clear of the drop zone, with only 5 games left to play. Realistically, Millwall, Huddersfield, QPR aren't all going to win out, and we'd need 2 of them to jump us. I think you can probably say at this point, survival has been achieved and we can look forward to next year. I'm going to run through to the end of the season now, see how we get on, and then look at transfers ready for next season. I think next season I might do pretty much the whole season as a sim, just to see whether we have any chance of making it to the Premier League. But ultimately, the survival was the first port of call, and we've achieved that. But coming up, we've got Norwich, Stoke, Blackburn, West Brom and Sunderland. So cue end of season montage. So in our first match against Norwich, despite taking the lead thanks to Riquelme with this goal, we ended up succumbing 2-1 thanks to an Adam Ida penalty and a Rowe, shall we say, dubious goal. But then we had a home game against Stoke and officially secured our survival with a 1-0 win in the 93rd minute thanks to Josh Windass. So, and it was a good goal as well, to be fair, for a 93rd minuter, and that was basically the clincher. We then had a 2-0 loss to Blackburn, and then there was this absolute mad game. Jed Wallace put West Brom into the lead, and they had a 2-0 lead not long after, thanks to Sarmiento on the right wing. They had 2 2-goal leads, and yet somehow we win it 4-3. Sarmiento with a decent finish there. Watch out for this, another Will Volk's long-range screamer, and I think this is probably one of the most controlled shots he's had from distance. Runs onto it, first time, off the post and in. It is beautiful. Then they decided to come out and watch this for calamitous defending. Through ball, aims for DK. DK gets fouled by Mbaye, essentially, and then Valise just runs in and scores. It's appalling, really, but what can you do? Byers then scores a penalty to get us back to 4-2. Sorry, 3-2. Then Byers wings it in. Byers had an amazing game, to be fair. Bambo Diaby off the bar. Ugbo scores to equalise with 10 to go. And then in the 95th minute, in injury time, Ocampo puts it in. Diaby is the strongest there. A Momo Diaby. goes and wins it for Wednesday. One of those games where it was there purely for the fans. Survival was already secure, but wow, entertainment. In the final game of the season, despite a turn and swivel goal from Riquelme, we lost 2-1 to Sunderland, which meant the final table had us in 19th place with 51 points and even managing to jump Bristol City at the end, which was quite nice. A grand total of 9 points from the drop and comfortably mid-table. And to be fair, we were only a point behind Preston and Swansea, so it was comfortable in the end, let's be honest. Top goal scorer was Josh Windass with 8 since I joined. Top assist was obviously Bannon with 8 as I joined. Ike Ugbo was very disappointing since he came on loan. Sherindor didn't get much game time because he couldn't outstrip Barry Bannon. Riquelme had a decent revival at the end of the season to the point where I'm thinking he sticks around now. Matthias Ocampo, decision to be made. Played 11 starts and 2 substitute appearances, 4 assists and a goal. And to be fair, it was in line with his XG and just shy of a 7 rating. So it might be a case of he's not got much interest, so he might stick around for another year yet, potentially. Bailey Cadamarteri didn't get much game time because of the formation being only one striker, so he will look to go out on loan next season. Liam Palmer is probably going to move into midfield rather than playing in right back because he doesn't have the pace to get up the right wing anymore. So he's going to probably be Volks' substitute ball-winning midfielder. But I have got a few players listed for transfer already. Maya has had a 6.92 rating and those 2 assists, but with that work permit situation, I am a little bit worried. So I'm thinking about cashing in, and Derby are interested, which is good news. Delgado in real life has just had so many troubles with injuries and I suppose suspensions as well. He's been a very frequent substitute and a very poor one at that, so he will likely be heading off. Valentin likewise. Patterson, he is very versatile. He still gets decent ratings, and I have listed him, but I'm reluctant to lose him at the moment, but we'll see what offers come in. Marvin Johnson will probably leave, much like real life. And Akinfo wants to leave, and we will see whether I grant his wish. But there's a few other options as well to come in. The loanies will all go back, and we'll look for some new ones, basically. So, time to go into the transfer market and see what else we get. But really, the shopping starts when the season ends, and we get all the freebies. So, let's go have a look. So, we've just dipped into the off-season. We're not yet in the transfer window, technically, and Rotherham, you know, that relegated team Rotherham have offered 325,000 with some extras for Firmino, who doesn't want to stay at the club apparently. Now Firmino is one of those that I would have liked to have kept around because he has potential and he is actually a better player than some of the centre backs we've got. But when he wants away and we're going to get some money for him, well, I'm going to take it, I think, and enjoy Rotherham. At least you ain't got too much further to commute, eh? So it's been a few weeks and the transfer window has now opened, and we've been keeping an eye on a few players who are going to be out of contract at the end of the month. And, well, a few of them have already started making moves. Now, Joe Williams is being let go by Bristol City, so we are able to pick him up on a free transfer. Can play ball winner or centre midfield role, which would be brilliant considering formation-wise, I'm contemplating going back to the 4-2-4 we had, where we'll have a ball winner and a playmaker in the middle. So he would be able to play either the CAM or the ball winning midfielder role in the middle, which would be fantastic. But he's also very capable of playing the ball winning midfielder at the back, so he will fit in both formations. 27 means that he's certainly younger than Volks, who would be his main competition. And it probably means that Palmer will stay as a right back now, but, you know, ignoring the potential here, the stats, the attributes are looking pretty solid. So getting him on a free transfer, yes, please. You'll also see we've put in a bid for Emiliano Marcondes, who we've managed to get on trial because he was released by Bournemouth. And he looks like he could be a very solid either left attacking midfielder or centre attacking midfielder if we go down that route. Again, free transfer, can't complain. Mateus Aias here is potentially going to come in from Portimonense as a backup striker to Windass. Certainly a number of years younger. It still has a lot of pace, 14 and 15 for that and acceleration. Not exactly as good a finisher or composure, but he's going to be a decent option as a backup. Him and then Osorio coming in, if we go for the 2 up front method, means we at least have a rotation of strikers, which is good. And then finally, Fred Onyedinma, who I believe used to be linked with Wednesday in real life at one point, but he's been let go by Luton, and we've decided we're going to have a crack as another winger potentially. If we're going to play two wingers, we might as well make sure we have an abundance of them. If we're not sure on a Campo, Riquelme, and Doe, and all the other guys we've got, basically. Managed to let go of a few players at the same time. So Delgado's going and Valentin are going for a combined total of 670 grand. So that's something. Firmino is gone, so there's 325 in the bank. Bailey Cadamartri will go out on loan. I've just rejected these because they wanted fringe player, and I'm like, you're going as a regular starter whether you like it or not. But hopefully that means he will get development. We've got a transfer budget of 2.1 million and a wage budget of 87,000, which isn't a lot. It's not ideal, but we will just have to live with it. I don't think promotion to the Premier League is necessarily a likelihood, but we can try. But for now, I'm actually going to call it there for this episode, and we will deal with what is hopefully a promotion season, but likely just a second season in the next episode. Let me know in the comments if you've enjoyed this, because there's every chance the next episode might be the last one. Purely just viewer numbers and everything else, and I've got a lot of other things that I want to bring onto the channel, so there's a few more tutorials and a few more experiments due up, which you can look forward to. But say, leave a comment if you've enjoyed it, like and subscribe as always. Thank you very much for watching, and I will see you next time.